Hello and welcome to Yoga Essentials with Ashley. I hope you had a great week. I hope you learned a lot and you're coming to know and discover your own self. It seems lately in the universe, it seems that it's a time and a season for self-discovery, self-awareness, coming to know who and what we are. So I am coming to know who and what I am. It also seems that there's times and seasons with the sun, the moon, and the stars, and how they are for signs and seasons in the heavens that God has given to us. That it seems like there are times when people are going through similar patterns of learning and growth. Right now is a time of balance, where if you feel frustrated and you're not feeling fulfilled, if your emotions are too high or too low, it can cause us to feel very imbalanced. And so this has been on my mind and heart lately. And so we're going to go through a kriya today together, a series of movements and breath to balance the lower and upper triangle, it's called. I've mentioned this a little bit before. But we have these chakras, these energy systems within our body and without that make up our whole being. And these are affected by the things we intake on all levels, whether through our nutrition and exercise or lack thereof, through emotions from others or within our own self, spiritually if we are in balance or out of balance. And so we're going to do this kriya that's going to allow us to come out of this low vibration and break through the barriers within us physically and spiritually to allow us to come up here to the crown, to our connection with the divine or with God. It also has great physical results from it. It allows our digestion to be better. It helps to fight that hunger and thirst that may be out of balance. It's really good for those creative energies to be moved up into that upper area, into our voice, our sight, our thoughts, and really help us to become more balanced within. And so with that, we're also going to do a meditation visualizing us to come to understand our own self. And I have a quote from a book that I will read to you at that time. So let's go ahead and tune in together. I'm going to get a drink first. I didn't realize how thirsty I was. Maybe this kriya will help me battle my thirst and balance. So go ahead, and this is a time to prepare also. I wanted to make sure that everyone participating is prepared for this kriya. This is a little bit more, not vigorous, but a little more intense of positions held. But don't let that scare you at all. Make sure that you have a second chair if you're going to be seated. Make sure you have pillows or maybe a bed nearby that you can use, or a wall. Those will all be very beneficial. Yoga mats rolled up, or blankets that you can stack for some of the poses today. So go ahead and wherever you are, start to come to the breath and sit up nice and tall, erecting the spine as long as you can, allowing that energy to flow. And just come to the breath And bring the hands to heart center. And start to visualize the heart opening up, coming to your own self, letting the world and all of those cares just melt away for a short time, for this time to come for yourself, to come to know yourself, the things that you need, things you don't need, for releasing and restoring within you, coming to a greater balance. Tuck the chin slightly, start to move the hands at a greater friction speed. And squeeze the palms together, bring it to heart center, fingers pointed straight up. And inhale, imagine this light from the base of the spine moving up. And exhale, moving all the way back down. Good. One more time. See it in your mind's eye, moving up and then back down. Let's go ahead and tune in with our own gong, deep from the diaphragm, holding it nice and tight. Let's do it 3 times. Inhale deep. Om. Again. Om. Last time. Om. Now inhale deep, seeing the spirals of light moving up the spine, 2 in opposite directions, moving all the way up to the crown, clearing the energy, awakening it. And release this gesture, bringing the hands down from the shoulders. And imagine from the heart moving ever outward, you connecting to the light, your Messiah that is in and through all things, light of Christ. As far as you can imagine, so that you become unified in this practice for greater healing. Go ahead and release that gesture when you're done. Bring the palms to the knees and come back to the breath. I just wanted to say real quick, it's come to my heart a few times to say, but when we're doing our own gong, it doesn't have to be a certain tone. You don't have to match my tone. It can be lower or higher or right in the middle. Mine changes from day to day. I'm not sure why, but it seems to resonate at the right sound for what I need that day. So don't make that a worry. Go ahead and do a breathing exercise. Go ahead and bring the right hand. You're going to have the pointer finger and the thumb. And you're going to inhale through the left as you hold the right nostril shut. Switch, plugging the left, exhaling through the right nostril. Now staying here, inhale through the right nostril. Switch and hold, exhale through the left. Inhale. Switch. You might need tissues. Continue this. This balances both hemispheres of the brain, the male and female energies. You might find that one is more plugged than the other. So this helps to balance. The exhale is more heated. Inhaling is more cool, which is the male and female energies. Last one. Your last exhale. Come to natural breath. And see the difference you feel in the brain and the head. More cooling or more energizing. And I'm feeling very balanced in both of those energies right now. Let's go ahead and warm up the body. Go ahead and exhale, drop the chin, inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Continue with the breath. Make the circle wider. Last time, inhale. Exhale down, and then you're going to inhale the opposite direction. Inhale up. Last time. Exhale down. And come to neutral and inhale. Come to natural breath. Bring the bottoms of the feet together in butterfly pose. Let's go ahead and start to release the hips. And just natural breath. Make it bigger and bigger if you can. And relax. Let's go ahead and inhale the chest forward. Exhale back. Inhale. Exhale. Moving the spine, creating heat there, fluidity. Inhale forward. Exhale round. And come to neutral. Let's start to move the head. Inhaling left. Exhale right. Then bring the arms into it. Inhaling left. Exhale right. Go ahead and go at your own speed with your own breath. That's the beauty of yoga. So you can honor your body wherever you're at. Inhale, center. Exhale, release. It's very strange. I felt a lot of energy in my throat. Maybe what I said I really needed to hear. Natural breath. Okay, we'll go ahead and start our kriya. is to transform the lower triangle into the upper triangle. So if you are seated, you can put a chair behind you. If you can't go all the way down, you can modify this. You can stay down if it hurts the knees. We're trying to lift the chest up towards the ceiling. And so we're moving the shoulders out of the way. You can stay down on the knees. If you are okay with coming up on the knees, you can place the hands above the buttocks, lower back, and come like this. Or come all the way down to camel pose. And here we're going to long deep breath for a few. And then breath of fire. That automatic projectile breath outside. Just how you need. Almost there. Inhale and release. Exhale. Lose a lot of energy. We go ahead, we're going to go to forehead and knees, interlocking the hands behind our back as we rest our forehead and bring our feet up together. And so with this, if you're unable to do this, you just want to lean your forehead against a chair in front of you. Okay. I'm going to interlock the hands behind. A few long deep breaths. And then breath of fire. Once you're ready, a few long deep breaths. And breath of fire. You're doing beautifully. Inhale. And exhale, slowly release. Slowly, ever so slowly. Stay here on the hands and knees if you're already here. This is going to be very similar, but we're going to rest on the right knee and the left leg is going to come up. And so we are going to support ourselves. We're going to go ahead and do the left leg first and then switch to the right. Looks like this. We're going to kick our butt. Just long, deep breaths. Using the breath. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. Switch legs. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale down. Good. Slowly make your way up. Beautiful job. Okay, here we're going to sit on the knees like this. We're going to bring the legs to the outside. If you have a hard time doing that, you can use a pillow to rest on to bring the legs out. Or you can just sit on the knees. Resting the hands on the knees. Long, deep breaths. If you're sitting on a chair, you can bring the feet out, keeping the knees together with the same intention. Long, deep breaths, using the whole lungs. As you inhale, visualize that energy moving up and back down, clearing the way, both directions. You're doing a wonderful job. Keep it up. Now we're going to come back in the same pose. If you have a hard time coming all the way back, you can use a pillow. I like to slowly ease myself away on the floor. And you're going to bring the hands up. Long, deep breaths. Arms pointed up towards the ceiling. If it's hard to bend this way, you can just lay flat on the ground with legs kicked out in front of you. A few more breaths. And release. Slowly making your way back up. Bring your hands out. You push yourself back up using your arms. We're going to counter with and pose coming forward with the arms straight out, connected together, forehead on the floor. Again, if it's a mobility issue, put a pillow between here or here for your chest and your head to rest on. So bringing the arms out and all the way down. Long, deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale, come up. Next pose, we're going to lay down flat, bringing our feet out in front. Prepare for breath of fire. We're going to lift our feet a few inches into the air, squeezing the core tight, okay, and the thighs. If this is too much, alternate one foot and then the other. You're going to lift your chin up, and feet. Fingers pointed straight to the toes. Breath of fire. So it looks like this if you're modifying. And you'll just switch. Toes pointed, fingers pointed. Looking at the big toes. Inhale. Exhale, release. Take a few breaths here. It's a little more intense. Okay, the next pose. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is a shoulder stand. If this is hard for you, you can get up on a wall and put your feet up on the wall. We want our legs up straight if you can. This is a beautiful reverse blood flow. That is a great stress reliever as well. But if you are prepared, you can come to a shoulder stand. You're going to be holding your body weight up in the air. So whatever you need to do that, you can prop up with pillows or go just flat back straight up on the wall. You can put pillows here. Okay, like so. But if you're able, you're going to rock up and wedge your arms on the floor to a shoulder stand. So like this. You go ahead and adjust your arms. And then you're going to bring your feet straight up to the ceiling. Breath of fire. Good job. If you're in your menstrual period or pregnant or have a hard time with lung capacity in any way, long deep breaths. Inhale and exhale, come down. Come here for a few breaths. Slowly roll out of that one. And you're gonna stay here. I'm gonna repeat the exercise on our back. 2 more on our back. Where we bring our feet off the floor and our hands pointed straight down towards our toes. And there we go. Bringing the feet up, chin up, and breath of fire. Doing a great job. Inhale, exhale, release. Stay here a few breaths. Remember the pause between each of the movements and the breath helps that energy to flow through and integrate for the intention, the purpose that we are doing these things in a row. Long deep breaths. Okay, we're going to do next what's called plow pose. It's kind of like shoulder stand, but our feet are going to come up over our head towards the floor, and touch the floor if you can, and keep your legs straight if you can. And if not, just bring them as far as you can. If you want a wall behind you for your feet to touch, you can do that if you're able to bring your feet to the wall. And if not, you can bring your knees up to your chest if you're able. So it looks like this. Long deep breaths. Holding yourself stable with your palms towards the floor. Inhale. Exhale, roll down. Good. Stay here a few breaths. You're doing a great job. Yes. Slowly roll to your stomach. We're going to lift our chest into the air. Maybe breath of fire. So on your belly, intertwine the fingers behind you. You're going to pull the shoulder blades together as you stretch those fingers down towards the feet. Feet are flat on the ground. Chest is high. Holding it. Breath of fire. If you have a hard time doing this, you can rest your chin on a pillow, bringing those arms back if you can. Almost there. Inhale. Exhale down. You can just rest your face to one side for a few breaths. Feels good to rest. Okay, the next one is similar, but we're going to have the chin on the floor. We're going to alternate right and left legs with our breath. We're going to kick our butts 1 foot at a time. So it looks like this. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Go at your own pace, your own breath. Having the arms nice and straight. Almost there. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Put your face to one side for a few breaths. Make sure you're staying hydrated. Listen, we're going to have knees up in the air and chest in the air by holding onto our ankles. in bow pose. If you can, get pillows in the front to elevate your chest and pillows behind to elevate your knees. And bring your feet as high as possible and bring your arms back. If you aren't able to hold on to the ankles into this pose. And we're going to do breath of fire. If you are able to grab hold of your ankles, then you don't need all the props to prop yourself up. Just honor your body wherever you're at. So when you're ready, we're going to press the feet away from our hands in order to lift our chest up. Once we get there, we're going to take a few breaths and then do breath of fire. So it looks like this. Breath of fire. This is a great detoxifier to break up toxins in the intestines and other internal organs, which really helps our eliminatory system and our digestive system. Inhale, exhale, lower, and relax. You're doing a wonderful job. Keep up. You're getting so close to the end. Don't you worry. Okay, now we're just going to lift our chest in the air. If you're able to, or if you need props, you can do baby cobra, which is pressing yourself just up here. Or press yourself all the way up if you're feeling flexible and up to it. Feet are flat on the floor. Inhale up. Again, if you can only go this far, then go this far. If you need a pillow to rest on, just to get the chest we want elevated off the floor, then go ahead and do that as needed. Shoulders down and back, head is neutral to the floor. Breath of fire. Beautiful, keep going. Inhale, exhale, lower. Stay here a few breaths, rest the chin on the floor. And slowly press yourself up to a seated position. You're going to come into butterfly pose, but not flap the wings. The picture shows the knees on the floor. My knees don't go to the floor. Maybe one day they will. And so, just long, deep breaths here. You did a great job. Take this time to turn inward, find inner strength. With each breath, imagine that balancing the lower energies to the upper. Thank God for this balance within you. Slightly tuck your chin to allow that energy to flow all the way up to the top of the crown. So that's more in alignment. You'll feel a difference. It also helps to release the neck. Now staying in a nice, comfortable seated position. If you need to move your feet, or close your eyes. We choose something, and then we're going to visualize together a great release. There are various ways to view what happens when we feel threatened in times of distress, of rage, of frustration, of failure. We can look at how we get hooked and how Shenpa escalates. It can also be helpful to shift our focus and look at how we put up barriers. In these moments, we can observe how we withdraw and become self-absorbed. We become dry, sour, afraid. We crumble or harden out of fear that more pain is coming. In some old familiar way, we automatically erect a protective shield and our self-centeredness intensifies. But this is the very same moment when we could do something different. Right on the spot, through practice, we can get very familiar with the barriers that we put up around our hearts and around our whole being. We can become intimate with just how we hide out, doze off, freeze up, and that intimacy, coming to know these barriers so well, is what begins to dismantle them. Amazingly, when we give them our full attention, they start to fall apart. Ultimately, all the practices mentioned before are simply ways that we can go about dissolving these barriers. Whether it's learning to be present through sitting meditation, acknowledging Shenpa, or practicing patience, these are methods for dissolving the protective walls that we automatically put up. With that, I want you to imagine maybe a scenario or maybe some patterns that you tend to do when you come to a place where your emotions are high or very, very low, in times of distress or anger, that you're distraught or feeling imbalanced. And think of these things. And I want you to take a deep breath in and let go of those barriers and walls. And breathe in light, a protective light, feeling your whole being from the crown all the way to the base, pressing out from the body. Inhale. Exhale these barriers, these walls around your heart. Inhale that light all the way through the entire being. Exhale, see the light move through you, out and around you as a protective wall, a strong, courageous, valiant wall. Inhale. Again, exhale, these walls or barriers, these hedges that we create, damming our way. Inhale, light and healing. Exhale, see it pushed all the way out from you. Now just sit with it. Using the breath for your intention to get rid of the burdens you hold. You can do this in everyday life. Find a quiet space and time, moment. Maybe you just walk away into the other room and take a deep breath and let it all out before you do or say anything that may be hurtful to another. Take a deep breath so that you don't ruin something that might be good, that you don't say something that will hurt or harm, that you don't do something rash, inconsistent with your character, who you are. Coming to a place of serenity and stillness in yourself. That is where you find God. That is where you find all the attributes and characteristics of a great, loving God. If you want to meditate more on these thoughts, and pause the video now. If not, take a deep inhale and exhale. And go ahead and lay flat on the floor. Relax the lower feet, bottoms of the feet, the toes, the tops of the feet, the ankles and the lower legs, the knees, thighs, the legs. Release the hips and the navel. Let it be heavy towards the floor. Relax the fingers and the hands and the back of the hand. Relax the wrists and the lower arms, the elbows and the upper arms. Relax the shoulder. Start to relax the lower back, middle back, upper back. Relax the neck and the jawbone. Swallow to relax the tongue and the throat. The roof of the mouth, the cheekbones, the bridge of the nose, the eyes and behind the eye, the temples and the forehead, the back of the head, the top of the head. Relax. Breathe. Start to feel the rise and fall of your chest. And start to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Roll the wrists and the ankles in small circles, one direction and the opposite direction. Inhale one knee up at a time, roll back and forth. And straighten the right leg and bring the left knee over and stretch out the opposite. And look towards that hand. Breathing into the stretch. And inhale the knees back up. Straighten the left leg. Bring the right knee across the body. Stretch the left arm. The right arm. And look towards that hand. And breathe into this side deeply. Inhale the knees up again, rocking back and forth. And go ahead and turn to one side or rock and roll up. Bring the hands to heart center. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you. Pure light within you. Guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way on. Let's inhale together for a long Satnam. Satnam. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed our practice today, and I hope that you will like this video if you do, and spread the good word and share with others. Maybe back at the first class or ones that you think your friends would enjoy. And I thank you for joining me today. Have a wonderful, beautiful week.